Good morning this evening, and it is evening, my neck of the woods. First of all, humble apologies for yesterday's audio. I usually often don't listen back to my own audios, or maybe days later. Yesterday, something told me, just listen in, and I noticed that I had a double audio running in there. It's very strange because when I try to do that consciously, like when I've recorded something and I want to scrap that and start over, InShot tells me can't record over an existing audio, but there it happened, unbeknownst to me. So at some point, I'm like, oh, two of me talking. It's like, oh, I didn't know. That's great. Like really, I enjoyed. I enjoyed listening to me twice, but double. But I couldn't make heads or tails of it. So I was like, okay, oh god, delete the shit. I reposted it, cleaned up. Today has been an absolutely very, very crazy day. Electric moon, Muluk on tone 3. It's been really crazy. I got totally waylaid by life. So much to respond to, waiting to be responded to, being shocked by things that can happen. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm not going into any details. It doesn't matter. But it was a really great day to stay calm, to practice staying calm, and just like solve, like be present, what's required right now, and to feel. Somebody in my life had a nervous breakdown because of the situation, and I hate to say it, but that was good. It was not fun, but it's been a long time coming. And it just, Muluk days, red moon days, for me, they're often very challenging because they really can show up your repressed emotional shit. Like, it's the universal water. It's just like, it's like an extra flush. And it does get into the deeper corners. And it does bring out that, like, muck. You thought, nah, I'll ignore that till next time. Nah, I'll ignore that till next time. In the meantime, it gets so hard that next time you get to it, it's like, oh, I can't clean it the simple way that I could have had I done it 3 times ago. And now I don't have time to scrub. Ignore. Paint over it. Put a flower pot. We do that. It, it's not a good strategy in some spheres of life to do that. So the ricochet comes, and then we often can pride ourselves in how able we are to handle it. We're still not getting the message. And the message is there is a block in the flow, whichever kind of flow, energy flow usually. Water is another form of energy, right? And it builds dams. The collected muck can build dams, or us wanting to not feel certain things or not deal with certain things that are not avoidable. Then we start building the dams, like, oh no, this is not happening. We start building walls, dams, and the source keeps on adding, so that dam fills at some point, and at some point the dam walls break. These damn walls just broke. Today the damn walls broke. It was was it a major disaster or a minor disaster? It's so relative. It's so relative, and it's when we panic, the disaster is major. because we stop functioning. The smallest thing sent my friend off into a new panic when I was like, I can't get a hold of you. And it was about a whole different context, but the mind just then isn't calm enough to respond rationally. I, on the other hand, wasn't directly involved. I am indirectly involved, but very indirectly. And I could stay calm and understand, hey, this is a minor issue compared to really big deals in life. And what is required right now? What do I need to do right now? So the electric tone can remind me of how can I be of service. But every day is a good day to ask, how can we be of service? Now, I want to dive a little bit into the red moon, even though it's late in the day, and the electric moon. I'm going to try to make it short. Electric, we've been electric twice already. We've been moon only once. So it's the second time. We've been moon in the dragon wave spell way at the beginning, and we are moon now. I'm not going to weave us back. I'm just going to stay here. Tone 3, electric. Activate bond service. I remind us, if I need to, we're in the wave spell of the blue hand. Universal water purify flow. The moon represents, among other things, emotions, memory, remembrance. Oh, how deep do I want to go? So, interesting. I'm going to go somewhere else. Surprise. I mentioned this before. There are these pulsars in this system, in the wave spells. Each wave spell, 13 days. There are the 4 colors. So each group of the same color form a pulsar. There is the time pulsar, which is the first one, tones 1, 5, 9, and 13. There's the life pulsar, tones 2, 6, and 10. In this case, it's yellow. We have the sense pulsar on 3, 7, and 11. And then we have the mind form pulsar on 4, 8, and 12. I'm going to leave it. I think I'll leave the names. They speak for themselves. We have the overtone pulsars also, which are cross-dimensional. These are single-dimensional. They are the 4th dimension in this system. Don't ask me details. The first pulsar, is 4th dimensional. I think. I don't know if it means the same as the 4th dimension that we speak of. Then it's the second pulsar is the 1st dimension, the second, the 3rd. It doesn't make any sense now that I'm saying that if you're not looking at the thingy. Anyway, we are in the sense pulsar in this wave spell, which is spearheaded by the moon. It consists of the moon, the skywalker, and the earth. The sense pulsar. So we're in the healing, knowing, accomplishing wave spell. Also doing things. Sensing things, our senses, is very, I don't want to say it's very important because it's not, like, I can say that about everything. Everything is always very important, almost. I don't know, I don't want to make that distinction right now, but it just sticks out to me right now that's like we're exploring with the Skywalker on tone 7, resonant, depending on the earth, our evolution. There's many ways to spin this thing. sensing the evolution, or evolving our senses, exploring how we could evolve our senses depending on how conscious we are and how influential we are. The red moon is also has the yellow human, free will, influence, wisdom as the occult. Now, I've spoken so much about the yellow human, and I'm not over my hump with regards to the yellow human. I do not know what that is. It's still around. I'm still like, do I have to talk about that guy again? Are we done? And at the same time, like, did I talk about polarity yesterday? I'm like, oh yeah, 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 exciting. So my harmony from yesterday is polarizing my polarity and making a, what was it? Complementary relationship. I'm forming a complementary relationship between my antipathy toward yellow human and my excitement about it. So they form a complementary relationship, some kind of pulse. So this yellow human, I was also thinking about illusion, right? Blue monkey. He was also present yesterday. And this fear of influence we have. When we're like, no, we're not going there. Okay, thank you. Thank you for stopping me. So, but this influence, as I spoke at length about it, how do we, influencing, I'm reminded of manifestation. So nowadays, a lot of our uh, focus is on manifestation. What are we manifesting? How do we manifest? How does manifestation work? So manifestation, if we want to be conscious co-creators, which I suppose we are, we're also unconscious co-creators. But if we want to be conscious co-creators and we want to, it means we want to influence the human. If we want to influence, we have to really understand the human. Without spirit, it is nothing. But you can still influence within your own sphere of. You can cut your thumb off if you want to. You don't need spirit for that. So there's some influence we have. I don't know. As humans, we don't even exist without spirit. So what am I saying? But the when it comes to manifesting, we understand now that our is emotions the right word? Feelings, emotions, the way, if we want to activate a manifestation, the way we feel is paramount. Just thinking the thought isn't gonna do it, especially not if there is a contrary emotion or feeling running below the surface of the thought. So if my lack consciousness or my fear of something is active, that may very well be a stronger emotional force, a stronger magnetic force, a stronger electromagnetic force. I'm just saying electric moon. There might be a relationship, complementary relationship there. Just than what we consciously want to put over it, and in a way to be like how do I say that? Yeah, the most effective way of co-creating. First of all, we can only do it in the now. So I'm reminding us of the wizard. A blue hand's occult power is the wizard. We've just been through the wave spell of the wizard. Timelessness, receptivity, presence. If and the presence with our inner state. I can be present with the flower over there or the picture over there. I need to be present with my inner state, and what is my frequency? What is the state of the moon within me? And emotions come and go. They may be a little bit superficial compared to the frequencies we're running. And these frequencies are have a kind of electromagnetic charge and are causal. They are both cause and effect. But the yellow human tells us we can influence that, and it's possibly one of the very few things that we really can influence to the degree that we can. Just because you may be able to influence more of your inner states than your neighbor, who just, I don't know, cries all the time, yells all the time, I don't know, is just subject to seemingly external influences all the time, or can't control their thoughts or their impulses. Just because you can, it doesn't mean that person can. In theory, we all can, but in practice, we're not all yet able to use the skill or apply the skill. So if the most elegant, in my books, way of really manifesting everything you need, if Abraham Hicks tells us, ask and it is given. I buy that. I mean, I'm like, I'll sign that. We are shooting, yeah, but it's not here now. It's not here now, therefore it's not. And then we're constantly also activating, I need, I want. When we activate I need or I want, we're affirming I don't have. And when we affirm I don't have, we can't have, right? And when we don't have something we believe we want or need, we often don't feel so good. So then that feeling can attract, you know where I'm going. So to actually, if we want to heal, blue hand wave spell, whatever we're doing in this wave spell, do we want to heal? Do we just want to pay some attention to what do we know? How do we want to use what your magnetic day told you, or you told it? What this wave is going to be for you. You observe the day. It tells you what's coming, what it's about. It tells you what the messages are, the challenges are, the gifts are, whatever. And then you run with that. The moon on day 3, electric, bonding, service, is your flow. Your flow state, your ability to flow, not just the flow state, that typically what we call the flow state, but also your ability, our ability to flow with life, with, I don't know, roll with the punches, like flow and feel and be and allow life to be, and then respond appropriately rather than react. Shooting from the hip, or thinking we understand something when maybe we don't, and running everything through our mind, understanding, cognitive, blah blah, and ignoring feeling, ignoring intuition. Well, intuition is a separate matter. Intuition is like, I want to talk about the intuition a little bit more, but I'll wait until we get to the blue night. It's a while away, but we'll get there. We might be Skywalker. Hey, we're guided by the Skywalker today. Should I talk about the intuition? I do not want to talk about the intuition today, so let's leave it. We're sticking to the moon. I think I said what I had to say about that, even though I kind of like didn't tie it up, but it doesn't matter. We have these 2 other friends, our 3 musketeers, our 4 musketeers, including the Skywalker, the guide. Our 3 musketeers, the permanent 3 musketeers of the moon, are the furthest away antipode, the storm, the blue storm. Now, I feel toward the blue storm the opposite that I feel toward the yellow human. But it's not polarized, so I don't have it, I'm not split. It's just like, or am I? Am I? No, I'm not. The blue storm excites me. It's the strongest of the blue signs when it comes to transformation, but even a very soft transformation is still a strong transformation. So it's strong in terms of it can use the most, possibly, it's like maybe brute force. The hand can transform with a soft touch. The storm will not. Forget it. I tried to soft touch you, but you were not listening. And that's with the moon. If we're not, if we can't flow, if we can't feel, if we can't, I really want to go with the feeling. The element of remembering and remembrance to me is very important, to remember your spiritual self. The element of remembrance is, for the moon, you can remember all kinds of things, but it's very valuable to remember your three musketeers. Learn it on moon days, so you have it on all the other days. Your three musketeers are like your superpowers. If the moon is, how do you help myself? Human, yellow human, and a white dog, love and loyalty and heart, and the blue storm. It's very important to remember who you are. Remember your spiritual self. Oh, the antipode of the white dog, the three antipodes of our musketeers are, well, the moon itself to the storm, spirit to the human, which also communication, listening. Feeling is a form of listening to your feelings. Spirit often communicates through feelings. And the dog, the antipode, is the sun, yellow sun. And the dog and the storm share the sun, because the storm's analog musketeer is also the sun. Either consciousness, no, your sense of self, life, a universal fire, and this enlightened word. I just am ever uneasy about that word, but to enlighten means shed some light on a matter, like enlighten. Let's, like, can we have a different word, man? Did you have to put that one? Jose. Anyway, yeah, we enlighten and ourselves. Don't go around trying to enlighten others. That just means, yeah. And to be present with ourselves, to be present with our feelings. The magician on the blue hand, presence, healing, knowing. Know your feelings, know what you're feeling. Be present, get to know yourself, get to know the feelings, get to know our ability to feel. That's a language, that's a code language. It's very important to be knowing that, and to be to a degree able to steer. I don't know, wait, what's the right way to put it? I want to say we do need to be able to control our feelings, but for some of us that means it gets very close to meaning repression. Like, you control your feelings, you repress your anger. You don't show, you don't like tell the next person how gorgeous you find them, or how, you don't wag your tail like a dog and show everyone how happy and excited you are about something. We are restrained. We behave appropriately as adults, right? So there's these are two extremes, like being all over the show and living out everything and feeling everything. And there's a difference in feeling something and acting it out. And we want to form what? Complementary relationships. We want to form, oh man, I'm going to just like say it all the time. We want to form complementary relationships between head and heart, mind and feelings, between the different kinds of feelings, because yellow star, that just makes for a little bit more harmony, which aids our healing. It aids our wellness. It aids the wellness of our environment, our social environments, the earth, the galaxy, the everything, and you matter. Each and every one of us matters because we are the be all and end all in our own universe. We are the center point. We are what we feel. We just can't get away from that. So this is not ego speak. This is just like, it's, if it's not you, it's not at all, as far as you're concerned. So of course, this does not mean not to be cognizant of what's happening around you, but like, I think you get my meaning. So the storm uses water. I mean, I could go into, and I can't because I'm not qualified to, but I would love to be and go into physics and ecology and explain how a storm, what a storm does with water and positive ions, negative charges, earth, sky, earth and the bottom of the clouds and the top of the clouds and lightning and tuck, 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 tuck. It's all in there. It's all in there. And the best friend is love. And the dog has a lot to do with nurturance also. Love is nurturing. So to always understand our feelings aren't here to hurt us. But if we get hurt, our feelings can be hurt. And if we respond with anger when a transgression of our boundaries has happened, for example, rightfully so. Have we learned to express it appropriately? Have we learned to walk through this earth that we don't have our boundaries crossed all the time? Or can we just respond? Have we learned to be so balanced that it doesn't have to result in anger? It's definitely a childhood development stage, and if we are not really allowed, which is the case for many of us, to explore that properly as well as be guided through it by mature adults who actually understand what we're going through and what we're trying to learn and how to guide us to be both aware of our emotional state, what is it we're feeling, how do we express it, how do we get what we want, how do we communicate, then a lot of us haven't really got that, which often means that we have a very, what was it? Oh God, I cannot remember that. A complementary relationship. We do not have a complementary relationship with anger because it often got met then with punishment or not allowed or neglect, God forbid, So we learn a whole lot of skewed things when it comes to our emotions as well as love. When love gets hurt, hardly happens. But some of us may know what I'm talking about. It's so rare. So when love gets hurt, yeah, that can take us to a lot of very, very, very dark spaces. And the Skywalker in this case really encourages us to explore, maybe to become aware. Wakefulness is part of the Skywalker signature, and to also learn, or in cases where we may be afraid of our feelings, afraid of the hurt, afraid to be hurt again, afraid of anger. I can certainly relate to being quite afraid of rage. I can feel. I'm kind of aware of a storm, like there's like stuff brewing in me. Either it's always brewing like a bottom of a volcano, I'm not sure. Every now and then it just like, and I'm really afraid of that because I have no idea how to handle that. When that comes out, it's like the bit of it I've seen is not being pretty nor mature. So it's nothing I like about me, and it even if it's not that I erupt and throw my shit down someone else's throat sort of thing, but if I like have a safe environment where I can have a healing session or something, I'm still afraid of that volcano in there, of what it will do with me, because it feels as if this is going to tear me apart. And that's my journey, to learn to let the steam off slowly, or to learn each time there is an eruption in a safe setting, a way that didn't kill me actually. I'm much better off for having experienced it. It's cleared the air for me. It's cleared some space. It's blasted some walls. The storm. It and with that it eroded a bit of that fear that I have of these very strong feelings or states. So it's really helpful then to be conscious and to have the sun here present indirectly on two of the seals, on two of the musketeers, both in the analog and the antipode position, but they always work together. So that the position, I don't want to overemphasize that. It's just a very warming presence that I want to bring in to the space of feelings and flow, and where we block our own flow. And it's very often very much easier to project the block outward and to assume something or someone is blocking our flow, or something or someone is causing our feelings. This makes me mad. This makes me so happy. Or I can't be myself, or can't be free, or can't do that because of XYZ. It's very, very common. We live in a time where the responsibilities are almost entirely by the collective placed outside ourselves. And the yellow human reminds us, if we do that, it very much reduces our sphere of influence. The more we can take that responsibility back to ourselves, it's my state of frequency that causes indirectly everything that happens to me. It might not cause that. It's very difficult to speak about this because it still causes indirectly. I respond to life, and my responses to life cause life to happen. There is a causal relationship there. To me, that's very clear, and I take that very, very seriously. Everything happens. I may not always say I caused that, but I can say life caused that, it just happened. Now I respond to it and not say this is influencing, this is disturbing me, even though things do disturb me, but I still understand I'm using the situation unconsciously to be disturbed by it. And the minute I do that, I can take responsibility for the disturbance in me. And I can almost always do that, even in moments when I can't control that disturbance yet. I can still at least go as far as having the awareness that thing isn't causing what I feel or how I respond. And so I don't want to go into the law of attraction here. So this is not the thing about that. It's about, like, the moon can really beautifully remind us of our flow. Are we flowing with life? Is life flowing with us? Since we've just been on the lunar star and we're in the hand wave spell, I'm going to, for now, really keep us there. Are we flowing with our healing, or with our accomplishment, or what we want to accomplish, or what we want to do, or know, learn, become, whatever the blue hand is in our individual cases? How are we flowing with it? How are our feelings helping or hindering? How can we, where's the responsibility that we can take for also our state of emotional, spiritual, always, of course, physical cleanliness. The moon also stands for purification. So for some people, it represents things like fasting, purifying the body, um, purifying the mind, purifying the emotion. And by purifying, I want to just point out to be careful not to polarize and split again and making like angry feelings or the quote unquote negative feelings to turn them into something impure. The only pure feelings in that case would then be light and love and friendliness and warmth. If we polarize like that, and I'm sure we, you know, if we don't see it in ourselves, we'll see it very clearly in others. When we do that, we see in others so clearly, like they're trying to be this angel person, but they're just cursing all day long. Or they're like so spiritual, but their life is just a mess or whatever. It's like if you polarize only what you want, happiness and goodness, and no, purification means purifying the channels through which the feelings can flow. Whatever they are, let them flow, give them space, notice them, express them without acting them out. If I'm angry or sad, there aren't that many, there are a million nuances, but there are also a couple of base categories. So whatever they are, can I own them? Can I let them be? Can I feel them? That is, to me, healthy. And then I can be an adult and act as I'm really, today is just like one of those days. I gotta adjust. I just have to be a little bit careful when we speak, because I had to make some phone calls today. At some point I got very irate because A was sending me to B was sending me back to A was sending me back to B said A is responsible, A said B is responsible, B said no, we're not responsible, B said A said blah, blah, blah. I called this guy, I'm like, excuse me, I'm warning you, I'm a little bit irritated. And I said it just like this. I'm just warning you ahead of time, just in case. I'm not one to really, really lose my temper. I'm far too scared to do that. But it's like I can get a bit like, I can start crying at some point, or like really be like, oh my God, I cannot believe this is happening. He was very thankful. He was actually trying to be really helpful. He was very human on the phone, a call center person. Very nice. And like he couldn't help me, but like it's like I'm aware of my state, and that I might just, and in these phone calls, I say, I'm really angry right now. No, it's not you. We just have to let it out for a minute. I just have to express it. Okay, let's get back to trying to sort this out. So I don't throw it at the person. I'm not yelling at them. I'm not doing you da, 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 or you fucking this or that. Da, da, da. No. It's just like, oh, this is making me angry. Okay, wait, I got it out. Whatever. Like I can express it safely. You know what I mean? I cannot do that always, but I can do it often, and it, it's I appreciate being able to learn that, and that makes me feel safe to feel what I feel. I am human. I'm not here to control my feelings and to hold myself bound up tight. I'm always friendly. That that causes rigidity at some point. That can cause rigid arteries at some point. We're no longer able to flow our feelings. So the channels, the arteries, the emotional arteries through which our emotional life force wants to flow, needs to flow, they can become rigid, or the emotions can become clogged. Although, yeah, probably, but it's really good to understand what does it mean to purify our emotional systems or our mental systems. Mental hygiene is extremely important. It's extremely important, especially the older we get, because did I say something earlier about like, yeah, that corner, I'll get to it tomorrow? It's the little bit of these thoughts accumulate. They're like dust bites in your house. It's like little grains of something. And I like them I use these sticky ones in the kitchen with a little bit of oil and grease, not the fluffy duffy dust that a next wind can blow out of your corner. The stuff in the kitchen. It's like, yeah, you ignore that for long enough, you really gotta go hardcore, get that shit off the corners and the surfaces. It's like you gotta keep that clean all the time. It's the same with our mental hygiene, and we need to have it becomes as automated as daily brushing of teeth. You never have to think about it once it's automated. And that's what the red storm, I was about to say, the red storm, the blue storm also stands for auto generation, self generation. It's like it becomes automated. And a lot of things become automated. Life or nature doesn't ask, is this good for you? Should we automate this? If you're doing it enough, it assumes that's what you want, like the law of attraction. It doesn't matter what you attract. The universe doesn't say, oh, this isn't good for you, you're not getting that. Or, like it doesn't judge. Um, See where it gets you. So, you know, nobody's responsible for the thoughts we think. Somebody at some point, maybe, I don't know if somebody else at some point, maybe in childhood or wherever, is responsible for the software we download. I'm not sure. There are two schools of thought in me. If I come in as a soul, I know the parents I chose, I know the environment I chose, and I know what I am about to download in the download phase of my childhood. And I know what I'm going to do with that. It's my plan. I've chosen that. Or whatever, maybe I haven't, I'm a victim of my childhood, or I come into this, whatever, I can't choose, someone else is responsible because I got just like randomly thrown into the waters of earth, and here I'm with this family, and here I'm in this culture, and now I'm downloading all that stuff, and I'm sitting with it as an adult. Being an adult, yellow human, means taking that responsibility at some point to say, is this working for me? And often it requires quite a bit of, well, whatever it requires for us to learn what we have to learn. I'm not going to make a lot of that. But when we are ready, and anyone who's listening to this now anyway, I have to assume we are all here we are taking responsibility for ourselves. Why else would we listen to something like this? Just to hear me waffling on? Well, that's just waffling. It's fine. Then I can waffle on. But like, take responsibility for that inner storm, to know what gets auto-generated, what can we cleanse, purify ourselves. A baby needs to have its body washed. It cannot do it by itself, but it grows up and it learns to do it by itself. Mentally and emotionally, many of us are very immature. To no fault of our own, I guess, because it's just the collective has not yet, but we are getting there. So we're learning this emotional mental maturity. And if it comes out of that field, like we want to be conscious co-creators, that drive to get what we want drove us to invite the Abrahams and all the rest of them onto this planet, to be channeled to tell us, this is what you want, enough of you are asking, so we are here to tell you. And through them we're learning so much about not only them, many others, but this is a time where we're learning about our emotional being, our psychology, which is really important, our inner state, and how our physiology, our psychology, our spiritology, our emotionology, all of it, it's just linked. All of it is linked. All of it hangs together on the electric tone 3. It doesn't hang together on tone 11. On tone 11 it all just flies apart. On tone 3 it's like electric, electrified, serving, bonding. The way we feel about things attaches those things to us, attaches us to those things, whether we feel really good or really bad. If we feel nothing, we're not attached. Neutrality is a detacher. Does that mean we ought to become neutral humans and feel like nothing? To some people, it's like the whole development means to become emotionally equanimous or something, so like feel nothing. each gets to choose what that means, yeah? But the red moon reminds us of the flow of things, and yeah, to me, I also want to add, and it reminds me of the purity of us as spirit beings. We are that. We are not dirty. We're not flawed, essentially. We are here to be exactly who we are, individually and collectively, exactly as we are. In transition, always. In development, always. We are the collective human experience, we are the individual human experience, and we are completely, how to say it without using the polarized language of right, wrong, good, bad. Because the minute I say we're right, we're good, we're something, I'm already implying the other could be. I don't want to. I would like to use a word that lifts us above that, or out beyond that duality, into something unified, into something, we are holy, we are. I understand a layer or some layers where we have to, if something's holy, something has to be unholy. That is part of the duality. And if humans take that into themselves, or onto any part of humanity that's unholy, that's, kudos to them. We have free will. Everyone has free will. And for me, it's, I don't know, I see it can cause quite a bit of hurt if we look at life, if we are, I mean, I'm going into extreme now, but it's kind of like there's a condemnation in that. There's something like a human is a divine being. We have free will, and it's very difficult perhaps to understand that we are given that will. We can take it anywhere, and no matter how dark we take it, no matter how low in frequency we take ourselves individually or collectively, that experience adds to the experience of the creator, or the life, the universe. What can I call that? I stumble through these words feeling a little awkward and helpless, and maybe I just shut my mouth. But I find it helpful to not add insult to injury for myself and for humanity. It's like we can cause injury, but we don't have to insult ourselves and and call ourselves names. Let's put it that way. Compassion is much more called for, and understanding. Blue hand stands for knowing. Now, my knowing doesn't have to be your knowing, and I'm not here to contest anybody else's knowing. And if someone says that, Tatiana, what you're saying is all a whole bunch of rubbish, fine. No worries. I mean, I live in my world. I'm content with my point of view. I'm not defending it. It's just, does it give me peace? Does it give anybody else peace? Am I serving the world with what? So now I have already spoken for a very short 40 minutes. Unbelievable. And have I said anything? There is another guy in the Tolkien that I like almost as little as the Yellow Human, and it is the freaking strangest thing. I'll talk about him tomorrow. He's a he. He's definitely a he. I'm not biased at all. Well, what is it? I apologize for my feminizing and masculinizing nouns or things comes out of my German where we is the is daddy does male female neutral, so it's in my brain that a dog is male, a dog is a he. All right, we'll talk about the dog tomorrow, even though he's present already today, and he will be present for 3 days in a row. And here we have the human again. You see, we always meet up all over the show. I love this. And the Skywalker, the guide, the exploration of our feeling healing, our healing feeling, our feeling knowing, our sensing knowing, our accomplishment, feeling good about what we want, feeling good about that we can achieve it, feeling hopeful, feeling having faith. What is that? Is that a feeling? It's not a feeling, but it feels, having trusting life gives a peaceful feeling, right? So if there's disquiet, if there's dis-ease, if you're fretting about something, or if we're at loggerheads with life, or we're looking at situations that we think should not be, they are bad. Why do we think that? Because we feel bad. Whatever it is, may we can explore what it is we feel. We can explore options. Perhaps there's a different way to look at it, so that we can feel different about it. That way, we put where we put the responsibility. We can't shirk responsibility. Responsibility is one of those things you can't choose. I feel that something says, I haven't thought this through, but something tells me right now, like, and I shouldn't believe everything that comes up inside of me, but something says, like, responsibility, you either have it or you don't. It's either yours or it's not. I mean, if we're like, have to clean up a space, there's 3 of us, like, who does what, then I take the responsibility, I clean up all the chairs. Now it's my responsibility. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about life itself. So you're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your relationship with the divine. You're responsible for your relationship with your own empowerment. Nobody else is. So you are also responsible for your healing. Nobody else is. Somebody can guide you, somebody can help you, somebody can set the right conditions for you to activate within yourself, consciously or unconsciously, what your system requires to heal. But the ultimate responsibility still lies with you. You could give your power away, then the responsibility is with you that you've given it away. If you've given it away to someone, Tatiana. So ultimately, the dog here today, the best friend, reminds us of the power of love and whatever is in our heart, living from the heart. The magician also represents heart. In another podcast, I explained the significance, because dog and magician are 5 tones away from, the magician's 5 tones away from the dog in sequence. And therefore, it lands on tone 5 in the dog wave spell, which is the command center of the dog. And love, the inner, it's inside us. It's receptivity. Love, the inner state is receptive. Receive love. Love is everywhere, even more. The most, I mean, water can symbolize love. Air can symbolize love. To me, I was going to say air really symbolizes love to me, in as much as the spirit in the antipode position to the yellow human. Spirit is love. Air is love, is everything that we are. Everything that is love. Everything is made out of love. Love is a very attractive force. Fear is the opposite of love in some way, and in our free-willed human, you can have lived that fear pretty deeply, but it's the absence of love. And if we're meeting something in ourselves, maybe like fear or pain, tomorrow the dog has its medicine is the blue monkey, the inner child. And I want to say that to meet our pain or our fear with curiosity, it's a real medicine. Fear and curiosity are such different frequencies. When you're angry, if you're in a state of anger, fear, anything, sadness, even joy, whatever, but anyone that you would want to make it go away, don't do what I'm about to say to make it go away, because that defeats the purpose. Genuinely try to access, it really works for me, genuinely try to access a state of curiosity and go toward that feeling or sensation in your body or whatever it is. Maybe panic, maybe that knot in the bottom of your stomach, or maybe that knot in the throat, or maybe that pain in your heart, or your knee or your toe, whatever it may be. Meet it with curiosity. Meet it, feel it, meet it, explore it, skywalk it. Explore it wakefully with curiosity. Monkey and Skywalker. Skywalker is also very much the curiosity. You can take the yellow warrior, fearlessness. Take them, grab them. Little yellow warrior, a little bit of Skywalker, a little bit of monkey, and get curious. How does this feel? Not even with any like, who are you? What are you trying to say to me? Where do you come from? Can I analyze you away? Just be curious and feel it. It's really interesting what happens when we do that. Okay. Self-generation catalyze energy. I didn't go into all of them. I'm not going to now. Love, loyalty, and heart is the dog. Let me read the lovely sentence. I activate the electric tone in order to purify bonding flow. How do we bond flow? Stopping the river, bonding flow, nonsense, we bonding flow. I seal the process. Yeah, yesterday I said it, there are 5 different words. The matrix we had on the sun, and the warehouse or storehouse we had on something, what, yesterday? The store of elegance. The hand is also the store of accomplishment. Now we're moving into the process of funeral water. Tomorrow is the process of heart, and then there's a process of magic, process of free will, and then it's the output of space, output of timelessness, time, output of vision, output of intelligence, and then the matrix of navigation. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's always 4. Storing, processing, matrixing, and whatever. What did I say? Storing, processing, outputting, and matrixing. Can I get another hour just to explore that? I really look forward to exploring that. Okay, dog, not you. With the electric tone of service, I seal the process of universal water with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of space. Make of it what you will. Let the words reverberate around. I'm going to read it one more time. I activate in order to purify bonding flow. I seal the process of universal water with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of space. And we are sense pulsar. Okay, I'm going to stop now. I gotta get going. Okay, I wish you a good day. If this is still daytime somewhere or already daytime, who knows which electric day or which not electric day you're listening to this on. And I'm sending you much love into whatever part of the world you are in. And I wish you a happy flow or a sad flow. I wish you a felt flow. I wish all of us that we can kind of remember we are synchronizing, that we can remember we are evolving together, we're evolving individually, we're not alone, but we can be if we want to be. It's not either or, it's both and more. So, yeah, have a happy day or a happy moonlit night. Aho.